Okay, I'm finishing up the foam fix for like the Jetta blend door foam fix, and I think Beetles had this problem. Mk4 Jettas, Beetles, and Golfs I think all had this problem. And what it was is inside here, this is the heater box. Behind this is the main vent part. So the like for the I don't know the face vents, okay, the ones that blow at your face. I don't know. I'm not a professional at this shit, so. That cover, there's 2 screws on either side that you have to use, that you have to take out to get that cover off, and then you have to reach up through this hole, and there's a catch on the back of that. There's a video that you can follow, but there's a catch in the back that you it's a latch. You have to reach in there with your fingers, and it hurts because it's sharp and pokey in there, and then you reach up in there and pull up on that catch. After you take those 2 screws out on either side, pull up on that catch and then yank on the bottom left corner a little bit. Give it a tug and pull it down and out. Okay, and then that's how you're going to get it out of there. And if you need more room, you can take this screw loose and then this bolt out. That's a 13 millimeter bolt, and that gives you enough room to sneak that whole thing out of there. This car was actually not designed to do this fix in this configuration. The dealership actually wants you to take the entire dash apart to get to that heater box section. But if you watched a video on how to do that, you'll know that you literally have to take the front seats out of the car, you have to take the steering wheel off of the car, all the ignition, the whole steering column, all the piss flippers and shit off the steering column, the gauge cluster, all that has to come out. The heater or the glove box, this insulation, the shifter. You have to like take the actual shifter out of the bottom of the car. You have to take everything off the front of this car all the way to the bottom of the windshield to get to that heater box, to get it out, to replace the heater core and fix the blend doors. My heater core doesn't leak, or at least as far as I know, I'm not losing any coolant. But I didn't have hot heat and I didn't have cold air conditioning. And I wasn't actually able to fix my air conditioning because the car could never direct air over the cooling condenser to be able to make cold air. So there's pictures and stuff that you can see what's behind that door. I just didn't think to make a video for the next guy until right now, but I just put that back together. But to get those screws out of there, and I'll show you where one is. So like if you follow the finger, go in here. Alright, and then where my finger is back here, you got to go straight back that way. And there is a screw. It's gold. You see that screw right there? That's the one you got to get off of there. Sometimes I hear that they're Phillips head, and other times they're 6 millimeter or 1/4 inch socket. Okay, and to reach that one, this one is from a Harbor Freight $8 screwdriver set, and you attach the little hex driver on there, and then you can get other little attachments to run a 6 millimeter socket on there, but that's what I used to snake in there and get that one. This will not work for the left side one. This one works for the right side, and I'll show you what works for the left side. It's kind of falling apart a little bit, but it works. You get this style of driver, okay, a little extension, a knuckle, but the knuckle must be between the long extension and the short extension, or else you won't have the right articulation to reach around the corner and get the other screw. And then a 6 millimeter socket on that end. By doing that, you can reach around the corner and then push like a motherfucker against the other screw and loosen it. Because there isn't enough room for you to actually fully get this socket this deep to actually get the full face engagement on that bolt. You're only going to be able to get just enough engagement on that socket to loosen it, and when you put it back in there, you got to kind of finesse it in the hole and then start turning and pushing until you get it in there, and then check for tightness across it. But when you put this back together, there are 3 tabs in here that you need to make sure that are lined up. I don't know if you can see them. See that tab there? This one. Okay, so you got to there's the third one's over here. But you got to get those lined up in there over top of the other flap like that. And it's not exactly easy. And then on the bottom, there's another tab that you can, I might be able to show you. I don't think I can. But there's a seal on the bottom of that you want to make sure it's sealed all the way around, and that you have a good seal across here and up in here too. Or else you'll just kind of for naught, it won't help you. But when you start doing this, you want to start on the outsides over here. Take all the shit off of that side, work your way in to the middle, and then come over here, take all the shit off this side, and then you can start working from getting the radio out. Then you have to get this out. But to get this loose, you have to take this screw out over here. There's one here, there's one here, and then there's two in the ashtray hole. Okay, see them? Those are the ones you got to get. And the red part of your ashtray, just reach in and pull it out with your fingers. And it just comes right out. But, yeah, that's where we're at. You don't have to disconnect the cables that actuate the blend door and stuff. You don't have to. Just push the thing down and just kind of pull it out through the bottom, and then leave it lay over here on the driver's side footwell. Like, there's enough room for that. It's okay. But I wish you the best of luck, and it's kind of sharp and pokey doing this job. So if you guys leave a comment or something, or if you have a question, you can ask me. But I covered my doors, and I used this is 1/8 inch thick HVAC insulation foam, and it has single-sided adhesive. That is important. Do not use double-sided adhesive, because your blend doors will close one direction or the other, and they will get stuck. And you'll have to go back in there, tear the foam back off of them, put single-sided foam on them, and then replace your HVAC tape again. You don't want to do that. Single-sided adhesive, 1/8 inch thick foam, meant for HVAC systems. That's what you use. That's what that is. The adhesive is actually strong enough, if it sticks to your finger, it will tear the foam before the adhesive comes off your finger. And it's not easy to work with. But that tape is just 3M HVAC cold weather tape. Okay, it's aluminum foil with adhesive on one side. You can buy it at the hardware store, Lowe's, Home Depot, Menards, whatever you got around. Ask them for HVAC duct tape, actual meant for ducting. And that's what I use to cover my doors with. And I'm excited to have heat again, because the heat in this car for the last 2 years has been just warm enough to keep the windshield from icing over and your teeth from chattering, and that's it. And I've never had air conditioning. And this is a black car. I drove this car to Florida 2 years ago, and in the dead of summer, and that sucked. This week 2 years ago, the week of the 4th of July. But yeah, dude, it was a bitch. So I'm not dealing with that now. We're gonna have us some nice heat, but maybe I guess I should have recorded this from the beginning. But this is my first go around at it. So if you guys have any questions, I'm probably not any better at this than you guys are, but if I know something, or if you think I know something you don't, feel free to ask, and I'll see what I can do. I don't know if I can find the link for this foam tape again, but I can look back through my Amazon orders. That's where I bought it from, was Amazon. And I can put it in the description, or post that in the description if you guys think you need it or you ask for it. But other than that, you can buy that shit from any hardware store, and that stuff I bought from Amazon. And those are the only two must-have things. But you can do this whole thing with, let's see, you're gonna need 1 T15 Torx and 1 T25 Torx, I believe, was the other one that I had in here somewhere between all my receipts and crap on the floor. Oh, what was it? Here it is. Yeah, T25. So those are the two things that you need. And get yourself a small socket set. This is all stuff from Harbor Freight, so you can do this with $20 worth of tools. Like if you're a little cheap on stuff, or you just kind of thinking you're going to do this on your own because you can't afford somebody to fix this, anybody can do this, but you're going to have some cut up hands. It's going to look like you were fighting a cat for a couple days, but you'll have good heat and cold air. So if you need something else, let me know. I'll do the best I can to help you out. Bye.